Renzo, I picked today's expression because I think it's the perfect example of the times we're living in. No aclares que oscurece.
Oh, you nailed it. I think you're right. I think that really captures the times we're living in. Confusing times, that is.
Exactly. And before we move forward, this is just a Spanish phrase. We are the companion podcast of News in Slow Spanish. In each episode, we talk about a Spanish expression and we talk about uses, origin, news in English. And if you want to hear more about our expressions, you can visit News in Slow Spanish and you will see the expressions in Spanish used in Spanish conversation. Did I explain it right?
I think you fell victim to the phrase today. No aclares que oscurece.
Did I over explain?
And made it more complicated. No, I'm kidding, Maria. You got it right. Basically, over at News and Slow Spanish, learn Spanish through current events. But here, in just a Spanish phrase, we're going to have a little fun with expressions.
Exactly. And today, no aclares que oscurece. So what has been happening to me, Renzo, and I don't know if you've had the same experience, I don't understand anything anymore. I have no idea what's going on in the world. I listen to podcasts, I listen to the news, I listen to our politicians, and the more I listen, the less I understand. And I feel I'm not alone in this. I feel I'm not the only one not understanding.
You are
But
definitely not alone.
okay, good.
Definitely. So many people have this feeling. I think, first of all, it's not unsubstantiated. It's not just a feeling. It really can be traced to the way that we receive news nowadays, and many other factors which we can get into. But I think the first one is the fragmented way in which we get information. You know, the internet, of course, it's been around for a long time now, but it promised the quick access to information, but the accelerating pace of information and the way that it's delivered now through not just news outlets, traditional news outlets, but also through social media. Everybody is reporting all the time, whether it's through formerly Twitter, now X, or so many other platforms. Everybody is reporting on the news all the time. And so you get everything in little bits and pieces and out of order and opinion mixed with fact. And it's just very difficult to parse through all of that.
But oddly enough, the other day I heard a 3-hour long podcast with, I don't know, 3 or 4 experts on foreign policy, on Iran, on everything that's happening in the Middle East. And I listened to the entire thing. And first of all, they didn't agree with each other. Of course, how can they? Nobody understands very well what is the long-term plan in here. But I ended up with like, no aclares que oscurece. I still don't understand.
So after that, all that, you still felt a little lost in the details?
Oh, yeah, I'm still very lost after 4 hours. And even more if I go on Instagram and I see a news and then I see an influencer and then I see a recipe and then I see Punch the Monkey and then another news. That's impossible. That is more than I can handle.
Those recipe ones, watch out. Those are the most confusing ones because you have to scroll through like 5 pages of stories about your grandmother before you get to the actual recipe.
I know. Why don't they give you the recipe straight instead of talking like, last time I made this recipe, my guest came. I don't care. I want the recipe.
It's the personification, the literal embodiment of this phrase, which is, let's define it.
Yeah. No aclares que oscurece. How would you translate that?
So first, literally, right? Don't clarify because it darkens. That's how I would translate it.
Yes.
Don't enlighten. That's better. Don't enlighten because it darkens.
You know what? That makes me think I have a very close friend who always told me, do not give explanations unless they are asked to you. Like, for example, if you're late somewhere, oh, sorry, I'm late because, like my tire blew and then my coffee spilled and then I had to clean my shirt. It's like, I didn't ask you for explanations. You're making things more awkward.
Yeah. You're complicating things. In English, we'll say something like muddy the waters. Have you heard that expression before?
No.
Yeah. So don't muddy the waters. Or some people will say don't dig yourself into a hole. Sometimes when you provide too much, when you go oversharing, can end up confusing matters more instead of making them clear, clarifying. So that's where don't enlighten because it darkens. That's the literal translation for no aclares que oscurece. The idea that when trying to make something clear, when trying to provide more information, you end up providing too much and you just make things more confusing.
Exactly. And I think that's what is happening right now. You listen to our politicians, it's like, well, we're doing this because of that, and then that, and what? That makes no sense.
Well, so I mentioned the fragmented nature of news delivery these days with so many sources, everything coming within minutes. It feels like breaking news is no longer a special or unique thing. It's no longer some days have breaking news, some days don't. Now it's every hour, every minute can have breaking news depending on where you're looking.
And another interesting thing, we not only have breaking news, my mom calls me all the time with possible breaking news. Like, apparently this is going to happen now, or this is the consequence of that. It's like speculating news.
Yep. It all comes down to another aspect of this, which is the first polarization and then the competitive nature of news. Because you have, again, not just news outlets, but individuals, influencers who maybe some of them are journalists or trying to be journalists, and many think they're journalists, and they are all competing to have, the most interesting, the viral moment by reporting on things that aren't yet confirmed, things that are still in the rumor phase, and that can be kind of dangerous. No aclares que oscurece. Don't talk too much about something that's not proven yet, that's not confirmed.
Enter AI. I just saw an article yesterday about all the videos that were fake, that were published on different accounts all over the internet about Iran. It's tons and tons of fake Iran videos.
Yeah. It's a new stage of something that we've been living in for many years now. The misinformation era, the post-truth era. So many people have labeled it in different ways, but alternative facts is the other buzzword for that. But yeah, AI for both creating stories and videos and even just audio that is fabricated to try to push a story. It's really dangerous.
Yeah. Before we go to the origin of No aclares que oscurece, real quick, because I know we're running short on time, I saw a hilarious meme the other day. It was like, me in 2016, I imagine AI in the world in the future, creating the cure for cancer, creating cars that fly, and then cut to 2026 AI, and it's a video of Trump dancing reggaeton. It's like, that's what we're using AI for.
And what's interesting, tying back to this phrase, no aclares que oscurece, part of what is confusing matters, muddying the waters, to use the English phrase, is that, in fact, we are using AI sometimes in some applications to do things like cure disease and design new vaccines. And there was a story recently about a developer who used AI to treat and cure his own dog of cancer.
Wow.
Now, again, is that story even true? Who knows in this age? I'll have to do the research and come back in the next episode to confirm whether that happened or not. But those applications that you're talking about are getting lost. They're getting hidden by all the slop. Have you heard that term, slop?
No.
Slop is all the garbage that AI is pumping out every day.
Is the over explanation. Okay, so just to finish, what is the origin of no aclares que oscurece?
So this one's easy, actually. You know how I love looking up the origins of these expressions, but this one doesn't have a unique single origin that can be attributed to a person or an event. It really is one of many phrases that evolve out of popular wisdom, what we like to call affectionate here, the abuelita.
The abuelita wisdom. It makes sense because it's a play on words. Aclarar, don't look for clarity, and oscuridad, oscurecer, make it dark. So don't look for clarity because you'll make it dark.
Exactly. It's a perfect irony, which is often how popular wisdom gets expressed by using these two opposites and then creating this almost poetic little phrase. No aclares, que oscurece.
And I hope we didn't clarify too much and you actually understood the meaning of this phrase. Thank you for joining us in yet another episode of Just a Spanish Phrase.
And if you want to clarify and hopefully not darken some facts in discussion with us and with fellow Spanish learners, if you subscribe to News and Slow Spanish, you can join rooms where we have conversations about stuff like this. It's really fun, and it's a great way to practice your Spanish.
And that is 100% in Spanish. But, well, 100%. We use
a little bit of English here and there. We call it progressive code switching, but that's a I don't want to muddy the waters. That's a conversation for another day.
All right. Thank you. Hasta la próxima. See you soon.
Bye.